Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com. In this video here, I'm going to show you what is probably my favorite build in Titan Quest, a Ritualist. Sorry, for some reason I'm having trouble pronouncing that today. So basically this is Nature and Dream, and you're going to be relying mostly on your pets. However, you're able to do a lot of damage yourself too. And I have my Ritualist built in quite a unique way, and I will get to that in a second, but first let's go over the skills. So as you can see here, I have a lot of plus skills. I have +5 to all skills, and that actually allows me not to, I don't have to max out these skills. So if I take off my gear, my wolves are actually 1 point under being max. As you can see, 15 out of 16. Here's the true values of all my skills. And I can avoid putting the final point into the wolves because I have +5 all skills. So this is something worth keeping in mind because this is a very skill heavy build. You can save a lot of skill points by getting +5 to all skills instead of +4. And as you can see, a lot of these skills are just one hit wonders. Like this I have 1 point into. Basically the entire Briar Ward tree I only have 1 point into. I have 1 point into Tranquility of Water. And the Dream Mastery tree is kind of the same way. A lot of skills are 1 point wonders. But let me put back all my gear so we can get an accurate representation, and I will go over my skills one by one. So Heart of the Oak and Permanence of Stone, these are two gigantic survivability talents that you need. So definitely get those. You only need to put 1 point into Tranquility of Water. Briar Ward, I just did 1 point in each of these. It's more or less I'm experimenting with it and learning what the skill does and all of that stuff. You can put these skill points elsewhere if you want to. You can put them into Regrowth if you want. It doesn't really matter. So Call the Wild, this is going to be one of your primary skills. And if you get Call the Wild, you're going to 100% want to get Survival Instinct and Strength of the Pack. Both of these have to be maxed out. Call the Wild is, like I said before, one of your primary abilities. And in Nature, you're also going to be getting the Sylvan Nymph, but this is a lot less of an important skill. Basically, when you're all out of other important skills to get, you're going to dump all your points into the Sylvan Nymph tree, and we'll get to that in a second. So Plague, this is going to be one of your primary damaging abilities in Nature, and one of the main things you're going to open up all of the fights with. So you're going to basically plague enemies to pull them, and then your pets will intercept them, then you'll start attacking them, and then the fight goes on from there. So Plague and all of the skills connected to Plague are extremely important too. It is basically the only actual attack you're going to be using from the Nature tree. Now, as for the Dream tree, Trance of Convalescence is the most important trance for you to get. This trance right here is why this build works and why this build is so good, along with Heart of the Oak. So these passives right here, I like to put 1 point, 1 point, and then max this one out because I like chance to avoid projectiles and total speed. Dream Image is something I'm currently experimenting with. You can change you can put the points somewhere else if you want. You can do them into Distort Reality or Distortion Wave if you want. It doesn't really matter. But Dream Image I like because it's basically another pet, and it's like an oh shit pet to hit. So Summon Nightmare is going to be one of your primary abilities in the Dream Tree, and along with Summon Nightmare, you're going to want to get Mastermind, because Mastermind is another flat % total damage, health regen, and energy regen talent. So what makes this build so powerful is Trance of Convalescence gives your pets a flat 16% health regen. I'm pretty sure it's per second, or it's very, very fast. I know that. This gives them plus 200% health regen, and Heart of the Oak also boosts their total health by basically 100%, plus gives them 30% elemental resists. So your pets are essentially getting massive health regen from all of your talents, which keeps them alive, plus wolves are almost impossible to kill in the first place because of Survival Instinct, which also Survival Instinct gives them a flat 110% physical damage boost. Strength of the Pack also gives them a flat 90% physical damage boost. So as you can see, we're basically just stacking flat damage boosts as well as flat health regen. And that is the strength of this build. Now, as for yourself, you might be wondering, well, what do I do while my pets are destroying everything? And Psionic Touch is what you do. So the Psionic Touch tree, you're going to want to put max out Psionic Touch. Psionic Burn and Distortion Field are not as important at first, but you want Psionic Beam as soon as possible. Psionic Beam turns your melee or turns your staff attacks into this. As you can see, it's, well, a Psionic Beam. And this passes through enemies and does a crap ton of damage. So that brings us to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is our gear. For the most part, all you need with your gear is resistances, and that's really it. You need survivability. Oh, and plus skills. Plus skills is basically required for this build. At least +3, so you can get bonus wolves, but I go up to 5, at least +3 or +4. Preferably +4 at the bare minimum. And here's my gear. I'll mouse over each piece little by little and explain why I got these. So, as I said before, pretty much all of our gear, it's interchangeable, except for resists that we want a lot of. And for my gear in particular, I stacked a lot of life leech. That's the unique quirk that I added on to this build that I came up with myself. And the reason for that is because I can basically stand in most enemies' damage and just eat it, so long as I'm attacking. And that is great. I will show you how powerful the life leech is in a second. As you can see, my legs also grant me the Rune of Life skill, which is a nice little extra buff that we can throw in there. For my secondary resists, as you can see, they're all pretty decent. Bleed resist isn't that important. You want to max out your elemental resist and get pierce resist as high as you can. As you can see, my physical resist is pretty solid too. My vitality resist is halfway decent. I forgot to show you my artifact. This is my artifact. It's just basically more elemental resist. That's basically all I care about on it. So this build, how it's going to work is we rely on our pets for almost everything, and we basically just psionic burn. That's going to be, and plague. That's going to be the second thing we're doing. So let me set all these guys to aggressive, because we want our pets on aggressive so they actually do stuff without having to rely on us. And so as you can see with my life leech going, I can just basically tank all of those enemies. Let me show you without life leech. So as you can see, I'm actually taking damage, and then I just start attacking, and my health just starts going through the roof again. And that is basically the power of life leech with this build. I can stand in a lot of enemies and take a lot of damage from a lot of sources. So let me just like round up a whole bunch here. And then we just blast the shit out of them with Psionic Beam. Our pets do a whole bunch. As you can see, they're basically taking everything out on their own. I can basically pull a lot and then go AFK and let the pets do it. Let me see if this is a... No, I wouldn't be able to. But as you can see, I don't even have to potion. Life Leech will save me. And we have a purple over there waiting for us to pick up. Which I think I already have. No, I don't think I have that one. So you might be wondering, well, aren't you so strong because you're level 85? And the answer would be yes and no. I beat the game on this character at like level 68, which is relatively low. And she had no issue whatsoever. So yes, 85 is very high, but I'm not doing so well because of my level. I'm doing so well because I have a shit ton of life leech, and this is a very, very powerful build. Those are the reasons I'm doing so well. So let's actually run through some enemies here. So here's a hero mob. He won't even stand a chance to it against us. As you can see, our pets aren't dying. We're not dying. So long as we're attacking, it is extremely, extremely hard to kill us. Open with Plague, as always. And then just pew pew. One thing you have to look out for with this build is mobs that dispel. Anything that dispels you is dangerous because it rips off our most powerful buffs, which are kind of what are allowing us to be this insanely overpowered. Like, even if we aren't attacking, our health regeneration is absolutely insane because of Trance of Convalescence. So, like, as you can see here, I'm taking damage, and look, I'm basically healing for more than I'm taking. I can literally just stand here and let my pets kill everything like that. Sip a drink real fast while my pets do all of the work. And I actually like this build for that too. Because if I'm doing something like watching TV at the same time as I'm playing, it's a very, very AFK friendly farm build. So I can basically, you know, just click around and I can count on my buffs to not get me killed and my pets to kill everything else. And it's great. I love it. And we have a few oh shit buttons too in the very rare scenarios that we run into an oh shit moment. Like, let me show you in a second. Pull a whole bunch and we'll drop our Briarwood right there, which is our one oh shit button. And it puts basically a heal around us that does pretty good, and it also creates the little Briarwood thicket, which enemies usually attack instead of us for a short time. It gives us enough time to pop a potion and heal to full. Or just, what I like to do is I also like to drop my Briarwood before I'm about to enter into the thick of some shit. Like if I'm about to go ham on a boss, I'll drop Briarwood and then just unload on the boss and stand in all of his attacks. Because it's basically just another buff to my healing. So it's basically just more healing to me. And then my life leech will heal for any of the other damage that I'm taking. So as you can see, I'm not doing anything, no potion, and I'm not even taking damage, and they're all dead. So that was Plague reducing the damage they did, and they weren't even able to basically harm me because my health regen was too high, Plague reduced their damage by too much, and my resists are too high. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just taking their damage and eating it. And they're not able to do anything to me. That is the power of this build, basically. And you get this powerful, I would say, low 60s. That is, once you max out Heart of the Oak and everything connected to Heart of the Oak and Trance of Convalescence, that is another very, very, very important one to max out. And then your resists. Of course, you need high resists for this, too. Resists are the other missing piece that aren't connected to our skill points. But as you can see, I can just literally not do anything for most of these fights. Now I'm finally taking damage, so I have to pop my potion. But for those last two fights, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just letting my pets kill everything. Well, I'm plaguing. That's it. And then aside from that, my pets are doing all of the heavy lifting. So this general is quite difficult. But let me show you this. I got stunned, so I can actually be hurt here since I'm getting stunned. We'll drop my Briarwood. So I'm standing in his poison, and that actually hurt me quite a bit because my poison resist isn't max, and I got stunned in the poison, which hurt me quite a bit too. So as you can see, my poison resist isn't max too, like I just said, 51%. So that's worth mentioning. If my resists were at 80%, I probably wouldn't have suffered any damage from that. So we're gonna run down to Hades, and I'm gonna show you Hades real fast. And this is exactly how I like to play the build too. I like pulling a whole bunch at once, and then I just like stand in it and destroy it. So that's 3 packs right there, and I didn't even drop below like 75% health. Mr. Warden of Souls. He hits hard, so we have to be a little bit more cautious for him. But as you can see, he's still no match for the Ritualist. And the good thing about the pets is they drop down to like 30% really fast, but due to their survival instinct ability, they almost never die. So our pets are stupid powerful. We're stupid powerful. Everything's stupid powerful. This build's great. I love it. So we just ate that boss for dinner too, and we're gonna go eat Hades for dinner, so long as I don't mess up. I'm probably going to die on Hades as I'm like, okay, I want to show you all of these attacks that I can just stand in, and then there's going to be like one attack that I probably shouldn't stand in. There's one attack he does that can shotgun you that I definitely know I don't want to stand in. Never seen this drop before. Anyway, what I was saying is there's one attack he does that shotguns that I definitely don't want to stand in. Where's my nymph? There we go. Forgot what button he was bound to. So here we come, Hades.
You will pay for your hubris.
That one right there is the one that shot. I think it's the red glob he lobs at you. That's right, Hades. Go into your next form. Show me you mean business. Give mirror image, and we'll drop my Briarthorn Thicket, and we'll just go ham on him. And he did. Well, he's into the next form anyway. Not dead. So as you can see, I lost a few wolves there. Wolves can die, especially on bosses, if they take a huge amount of damage at once. So we're going to play defense a little bit as we summon our pets again. So for bosses that are hard, if you encounter any on your Ritualist that you have a little bit of trouble with, basically what you do is you just run around like this, refresh Plague on the boss when you can, resummon your pets when you can, and you just let your pets kill the boss. So as you can see, I didn't even have to do anything for most of that second phase besides run around and try to resummon my pets, and they basically did all the heavy lifting for me. And that's really all there is to it. That is the Ritualist build. As you can see, it's insanely overpowered. The only thing I didn't mention is Psionic Touch goes on your left click. Plague I like on my right click. You can see the rest of my abilities there. And that's basically all there is to it. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys out, and I will catch you guys around the next one. Peace.